Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
As you might be able to see, a brother was at the Orange and Green game. I'm just saying, ooh, I'm gonna leave that open. You know what? That's cool. Y'all can see that back there. It's just a box. But man, what a weekend it was. And it started early for your mans. Just saying, started a little early. It was kind of fun too, though. A whole lot of fun with the good brothers from the ONG Strike Zone. And man, we definitely were just having a great time, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I myself always enjoy hanging out with them, and I, like many of you,
Definitely
miss the presence of one Kofi Hemingway, but definitely wasn't feeling in his shoes. But I was glad to be in the place. So before we get started with all that, though, big shout out HBCU Digital Network. This is home, and it was a nice weekend, y'all. It was a long day. I was actually supposed to go to an event post game. I do have to apologize. Wasn't able to make it, and honestly, I was tired. I could lie to you, but as fuzzy as this camera is trying to look, is how I was feeling. I was pretty worn out. Let me see if I can fix the smudge just a little bit. Might have got my finger on there one time. But yeah, it was a long day, y'all. It was long, but it was a lot of fun, man. But that being stated, man, Green Team came out with a W, and I'm not gonna lie, I was back in the Green Team. Now it's not because I came in with some pregame insight or anything like that. It's just because I was petty. I was being petty. In the moment, we had Gerald from Tallahassee Democrat sitting with us, and Gerald was pretty much saying, "I'm picking the orange team," and I was like, "I'm picking the green team just because you picked the orange team. There was no other reason. It was all based on me being petty. But my pettiness won because the green team definitely won in overtime. So that was pretty cool. I like that. I thought that was something that was kind of awesome, and that I thought was kind of fun. So yeah, let's kind of jump into this a little bit. I got the show notes up here, so y'all got to forgive me a little bit. But I made that drive back this morning. Now, before we get all into that, these ladies right here, big shout out to them. That's the FAMU bowling team. And I saw them at the game. I was like, "Can I get a picture?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." You know, they were loving a little bit of the attention. And I was like, "How many of y'all are coming back next year?" Because we had a really good season. And they're like, "Oh, all of us." I'm like, "Oh yeah. SWAC championship, here we come." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see it. Like cold as ice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm claiming it now. Future SWAC champions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was me getting a little bit of that first. I'm numbing on ready. But y'all, like, it was fun. It was good. The cheerleaders was there. Got there early, and they were actually having their cheerleader tryouts when I first got there. So I was looking, I was like, all right, let me make sure I see where y'all are at. So I'm not in there. Try not to be like one of those creepy old dudes. Y'all don't know, like, them dudes is like 40 years old, trying to look at the college girls. Like, bro, come on. You had your date, man. It's ain't never overlooking. Yeah. Okay. I ain't one of them though. And it was cool, man. Like they were out there in front of Gaither and whatnot. And it was a great experience, great day, but it was hot. And that's some of the things we definitely gonna talk about. As y'all saw, I'm gonna put them back up there. The bowling team, most of them coming back next year. We got to work on that camera angle though. Swag. We need to work on that. But we're also gonna talk about, I mentioned the cheerleading team. They finished in third. We're talking about this Rattler tennis program just for a little bit, just because I want to make sure I remind you they're the SWAC champions. There we go. Then we're about to jump into this baseball, softball, and then we're going to talk about this football game. And then what can we do to improve the orange and green game? I feel like we could have done a little better, and some of it's obvious. Now, with the tennis team, again, the SWAC champions, they're off until the end of the week. So we'll jump in that a little bit more. They're going to the SWAC championship as the regular season SWAC champions. Y'all know how I am about that. I'm not little petty. I'm big petty when it comes to trophies. I'm always talking about them. So that was really pretty cool, man. Now, baseball, we did not get the baseball team. And I'll be honest, you're probably doing the SID a favor because in the past, we've had FAMU baseball, softball, and the orange and green game, as well as be out there all at the same time. I don't know how they did it. Now, I will say, FAMU went up to Alabama A&M and swept the Dogs. That's a winning streak. I'm just saying, and not just because we swept them, but we went in there with a 2-game winning streak as well. So FAMU baseball is on a 5-game winning streak, and we're above 500 by a game at a good time in the season to be that. We got the Gators, and we're going up there. That's a minor league baseball stadium, and that's a minor league baseball team. That's a game that I'm not gonna lie and tell you, I'm not gonna make it to the baseball or softball game this week, and for very different reasons. Now, the baseball game is just because of the time. The baseball game against UF is Tuesday at 6:00. It's about an hour and a half ride for me, and I'm not. I don't want to get there, and we're too far behind. I'm just gonna say it like that. I would love to get there and we were winning. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm a realist and I'm a very rational fan. I'm not one of these people that's gonna tell you that we're gonna win every game out there because honestly, it's short-sighted. Like the reality is, they're a better baseball program. They invest in their program at a level that we don't. Hopefully, we can, and it would be wonderful for us and one alumni in particular to donate that kind of money. And I'm not saying I'm depending on one alumni to do that. That's what happened with UF. Like they built the stadium, then the alumni paid for it. But again, you're above 500, 18 and 17, one game over, and you are putting together a pretty solid season. I'm just saying, recruiting wise, I know you got Blake Pacheco over there from Sandalwood that's scheduled to come in. FAMU might be able to get some more attention and some more athletes. And hopefully, again, that turns into some benefits that we see not just on the field of play, but on the field of facilities. I know how I feel about Moore Kittle's Field. I love it, but it's time. Now, again, that game, 6:00, Gainesville. If it was 7, I ain't gonna lie, I try it. I would definitely make that trek because it would be like soon as the game starts, I'd be getting there. But at 6:00, first pitch, I probably won't get there until like the third, maybe fourth or fifth inning. Half of the game's done. So just as a realistic fan, I'll probably watch it on the SEC network. That game will likely be televised on the SEC network. I haven't double checked. I could check right now though, because we got a better computer that doesn't freeze and chop up. And the computer wasn't trash. It was a laptop. But we'll see. Let's look right here. I think it's Gatorzone.com. That tells you how much of a sports nut I am. But yeah, we'll see while it rolls up. But I'm excited about that one. That's a game where I don't think you're going to be really competitive, if I'm being honest. And the Gators were number 15 in the nation. So that's a top 25 baseball team at a top 5 baseball facility in front of a rabid fan base. So, good luck with that. That game, they don't say SEC network yet. I'm scrolling. Yes. It is on SEC Network, ESPN Plus. I'm gonna watch it on TV. I could lie to you, or I could tell you the truth. And the truth is, I'm gonna watch that on the SEC Network. I encourage you to do the same if you're not able to make that 2-hour drive, and that's a reality. It's something that you're competing against as an athletic program, and it's not just you. Every athletic program, every team in the nation is fighting the same fight. I'm having to fight Comcast, Spectrum, and everyone else because now you can watch the game at home. Why would you drive for an hour and a half, then spend $10, then have to refuel just to watch a game where you can just stay home and watch it? We're honest fans here. I feel like I value you as participants in the Fangs Up podcast, that we're real. We're real with each other. When I see you in the streets, it's always real. It's always, hey, how's it going? My opinions are honest. And in this opinion, I'm not driving over there for that. And it's because of the time. Like if it was a 7 o'clock first pitch, I'd probably try to make it. 8, ugh, that's a late night. I mean, I'm leaving early if I do. But again, it's a midweek baseball game. Kind of is what it is. Now, FAMU Softball, we won the series, but we lost the last game. And I was there, man. I was there. Look, took some pictures from behind home plate. I was at game 3, the game that actually concluded today. I was there yesterday when it started, and I even kind of joked around. Like, Coach, they said the weather's supposed to look kind of funky. And I was like, let me get up out of here. I'm tired. Well, you saw we played a couple pitchers in that game, and early on, that game was looking kind of rough. Like I'm just saying, like, that was not what I wanted to see, but it was definitely a good feel, to see that. Hey, we already won the series, and another team that's above 500. Now our next game is against BCU, and that's going to be on the weekend there. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to that one. And it's not because I just don't want to go to Cookman. It's because honestly, I saw the field. I was like, yeah, no, it's a no for me. Already on Friday, it's a no because it's a 3 o'clock first pitch. But on Saturday and Sunday, the games are at 1 o'clock. But man, that parking there, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't drive a Maserati. I don't drive a European car. But my little Nissan, I'd be very upset if the glass got hit by a baseball. And just being honest, I have no intrigue or interest in going to a baseball field with that kind of parking where it's that tight. And I did not know that BCU did not have their own softball facility. They pretty much played a city field, just like the football team. So you kind of start to see where, even in recruiting, that's a leg up. Like, especially the FAMU softball complex, as you saw, it's not bad. That's all turf. The infield, the outfield, it's all turf. You see the scoreboard is fairly new. Football team got a new scoreboard too. But still, like, all of this is new. Upkeep is easy, very stress-free. Like, I'm just saying, like, when you're looking at those kind of things, those things are what, honestly, I think that's what make coaches want to stay. But it also helps when it comes to players. When you go look at where Cookman plays, I'm not even going to speak ill of them. But you look at that, you compare it to FAMU, and you're like, they're not all the way different, but the sure sugar ain't the same. And that's a recruiting pitch. You need to build on that. You need to improve on that. Now, again, I complain about more Kittles. This way BCU baseball is now. Now, the stands ain't the greatest, but now you can see that was that first game that we won. I was there that night. That was after I believe that was the home run. And you can see, like, yo, the excitement was real. Now, how do you feel after you beat your rivals, though? I'm just saying, man, it's a good feeling. I that's how you feel. That's how you feel? It's absolutely how I feel. Big petty. Yes, we lost the series, but we won the game. And honestly, the wheat is separating from the chaff in the SWAC when it comes to baseball, softball. FAMU baseball this year is like that, man. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Now, again, y'all know what I went up there for. I came home for the orange and green game. Now I got a little more than that. As you can see, Isaiah Major got to hang out with the guys from the ONG strike zone. I had the microphone. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy taking the picture. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I'm big on that. Like, make memories. Remember what you can. But yo, the stars were out there. I mean, we got to see where. Look, Marquise Bell was there. Some of the OGs as well. Like, and it gave you that FAMU feeling. Like, you can see why student athletes want to come here. I mean, look, y'all see Isaiah Lamb was there. Got him again this year. Like, they were there, man. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna go on and jump in this. That's y'all, you say whatever you want to about who QB2 is. Told you I'm a Musa man, but y'all already know. If it ain't Musa, it's Junior for me. And I think at FAMU, quarterback-wise, my daddy gonna like this one. It's the Eminem boys. Like, a lot of y'all ain't old enough to recognize that, but it's the Eminem boys. Now, this is FAMU's Eminem boys, and I'm just telling y'all may want to trademark that. You ain't got to give me no money for it, Musa or Maratovic, but the Eminem boys, those are quarterbacks. Junior and Moose looked different. Like, they were like that all night. And I'll play a little bit of that video for you on Thursday from Junior's interview. Not Junior, Moose's interview, sorry. And I'll probably do Coach Simmons a little bit after that. You got to spread it out a little bit. But it was real. You saw the difference just in processing. Like, honestly, y'all, Junior looked a lot better. That year sitting out and pregame just throwing the ball, it showed up. I don't know if you saw it. I saw it. I was looking at it, and even during the game, Junior shined. Like, Musa got the game winner. And, now who won again? I'm just saying. It was a green team. Like, and you can see, like, look, I told y'all last year, the Moose got legs. Like, he said he cool with us calling the Moose. I had to ask. I'm like, yo, dude, we all call you the Moose. Are you even cool with that? He's like, man, I don't care. I'm cool. I'm like, all right, bet. But yeah, as y'all saw, the Moose can run. And I'll be honest, I think last year he was conservative because he knew what was behind him. Like, a lot of people I've heard some folks say he was scared to run. I don't think he was scared. I think he was cognizant. I think he realized I'm the best quarterback out here, and I give us the best chance to win. And if I'm going to give us the best chance to win, I got to protect my body. I just can't be out here acting all foolish and stuff. And he did that. And you saw in spring game, he called his own number. And one of the things I even asked him about, I was like, yo, it looked like you took more of a coaching role this year. Like, he was like, yeah, when I'm not in there, I'm coaching my guys up. You can tell that. Now, again, it's a 2-quarterback race, you ask me. That's it. QB2 is a no-brainer. It's Junior. Like, you can sell me all the Fisher stuff you want. I'm not buying it. And again, it's not because I don't like the kid, but it didn't resonate for me. And I'll be honest, I don't think we ran the plays to really support his style of play. He's a short quarterback. Like, you're going to have to treat him more like we treated a guy like Leon Campbell when he was at FAMU, where he rolls out, he throws on the run, he tries to throw within pockets or windows, but you just keep him in the pocket and expect him to figure it out. He can, because he's smart. You can see that. Like, the kid's he's got the football IQ. He's got the acclimate. What he doesn't have is the size. And again, I'm not a 6-footer talking bad about somebody that's 5 feet. I'm a 5'8" dude myself. I know my limitations. I haven't been able to dunk in about a good 8, 9 years. I was dunking until I was in college. But again, I was grabbing rim, but he's not quite going to give you that. Not if you're trying to throw the ball deep a lot. It's going to have to be a lot of short routes, quick reads, things like that allow him to utilize his accuracy and his smarts to be able to move the offense. And I don't know if we really did that as often. But let's be honest. The running game was solid. And I think some of it, you did try to protect your running backs a little bit. We definitely pretty much saw all the running backs. Everybody played. Coach Simmons State, everybody played. And that was strategic because last year you had a running back pop an ACL. Before the season started, one of your best running backs tore his ACL. And it was a position where for the rest of the year, you struggle with that. Now, receiver-wise, man, I'm just going to tell y'all. My guy this year, and I saw Kate out there, man, David Manigo. I ain't gonna lie. Manigo made some catches and showed a different level of focus that I may not have seen since he's been at FAMU. Like, he was solid. I'm again, if I'm gonna ride you, I'm gonna praise you. David Manigo looks solid. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Receivers look solid. They weren't terrible, but that FAMU secondary is like that. Like, I know we hadn't got the defense yet, because we normally work our way backwards to the forwards or to the front. But yeah, I'll just skip on ahead to that. Them DBs, they're aggressive and they're deep and they play the ball. Like, play the ball very aggressively. They were slapping the balls out of receivers' hands. Like, it was nice. Like, FAMU secondary is going to be a problem, especially you're considering what some teams lost. And I don't want to just point to Jackson State and say Travis Hunter and Shador and some of the other guys, but just in general, we didn't see that epic overhaul of talent into the SWAC like we saw last year. Like, you saw some guys that were 2, 3, 4-star guys transfer across the conference. This year, you didn't get as much as that. And when you did, it was a lot more concentrated into one school. Just saying, like, FAMU and Jackson State really got the load. And Jackson State's already got guys transferring out. Again, that's not me trying to bash them. Just being honest about it. Go look and see what you got going on there. I think some of you are going to look over and say, whoa, what happened? FAMU's got a chance. And part of it is because this secondary is deep. And they got size. They're not all my height. You got a couple guys that are my height, but you got a lot of guys that are about 6 feet and above. And it was solid, man. Like, considering what it was and what was going on there, yeah. FAMU, yeah. And, like, even here, like, this is that 2-point conversion play where he drops the ball. That's not just because he doesn't just drop the ball. It's a good coverage. Like, you can see the DB, like, receiver, like, he's engaged. I'm just saying, I think you look at that, you can see a little something else. Now, the linebackers, I'm not even concerned on this. One, FAMU normally runs 2 linebackers, but both of your linebackers, your top linebackers, they're solid. They're solid. Real solid. Now, with the FAMU defensive line, now I'm gonna let him tell you for it. Now, it's about 2 minutes. So, we got him post game. Again, I told y'all. I was there, man. We was there. Let's see,
Of course, y'all did the orange and green draft, so the defensive unit was split up today, but it still was lack of touchdowns, besides the overtime period. Just tell me about how that defensive unit can still dominate regardless of y'all all not being on the same side. Yeah.
Luckily for me, I had guys like really big keys of the defense. So guys that you guys don't know about, Jordan Moore, he's going to be a big part coming into this season. And I had some good returners like Kendall Bowler, Donald Hall, Javen Morgan. Just being able to be with some of the familiar faces, we was able just to get the younger guys on the same page. You know, communication is a lot when it comes to playing defense.
Overall, just where do you?
Okay. And that question was by Gerald from Tallahassee Democrat. Make sure I give him his credit. I don't want y'all saying I was over here jacking people's questions. But if you're not already checking Gerald out, you're doing yourself a disservice. That brother does great work for Tallahassee Democrat and follows FAMU religiously. He's up there when a lot of us ain't. Like I'm just gonna give that man his flowers now. Like Gerald is up on campus a lot and making sure he does FAMU right. So, and brother's already got an award under his belt, man. So we're gonna see, man. Y'all better give him a little bump up. But you can already see where FAMU's defense was dominance. Hey, Miss Williams. Like FAMU's defense dominated the day. Like it was really like that all game long. And you were able to see that it started on the line. Like the quarterbacks were constantly moving in the pocket. Like that's one of the things some people may not notice. But when you're watching that game, even Musa had to move in the quarterback. Now you definitely had some quarterbacks who struggled. Like Boney struggled, but you can tell he's new to the offense. He was definitely thinking a lot. He held the ball a little too long. It's natural. But it's because that FAMU defensive line was solid. Like FAMU's defensive line, I'm just telling you, they're deep. And they really gave us some hope. Now, what can we do to improve that orange and green game? Because, bruh, it was hot. I'm just trying to see if you can even see this at the end of the game. That song was beaming. Like at the beginning of the game, it's a lot more solid. Like you can see right there with the bowling team, it was pretty solid. Like attendance was all right. Now, a couple things we got to do though. If you really want to make this an event, one, you need to put the fans on the other side of the stadium. Like I understand we had construction going on, so the parking lot was being redone, and really half the parking lot was really inaccessible. You really couldn't use it. So I definitely hear anybody who wants to fuss or complain about it. But other thing, man, you got to tighten up the concessions. Like it was not it. There was not enough options open for that day. And I'll be honest with you, I'll keep it a bean. The spring game is a great time just to say, hey, you vendor, take it. Just give it to some vendors and just let's be done with it. Like, I mean, I'm just being real with you. If it's something where you don't want to have to worry about it, let the vendors either come in, park inside the stadium. They can sell their stuff. I mean, within reason. I mean, whatever I do understand we do have a contract with, I believe it's Seduxo, but we have a contract with a food provider, which may limit some of that. We can at least get a Kona ice truck in that bit. Like it was hot. Like by the end, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. After halftime, I was done. I sat in the press box for the rest of the game. I was like, all right, oh, it's too hot, and and I wasn't drinking anything crazy. I had water. I had 3 waters before I got there, so it's not like I was drinking soda. Like right now, Fangs a Pepsi school. I got a Pepsi. I ain't gonna lie to you. Got him a FAMU J Gaither cup. To say it like Coach Simmons, you ain't got these. Some of y'all do, but a lot of y'all ain't. But yeah, that's one thing we definitely need to do. Like if you just don't want to deal with the headache of feeding people, get some vendors in there because it was a task to get some food. Like I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I had the munchies and I had to sneak my way over to the barbecue man over there on Perry Street. Brother had some ribs too. I ain't even get the name of his business, but I ain't put no barbecue sauce in them things. They was smack. Them things were good as heck. Like it was him, Leola's, and like one other person and a dude selling boiled peanuts out the back of his truck. Boiled peanuts died. I made better boiled peanuts in my leisure, but you caught me on the right day. They got me through. They got a brother through. I ain't gonna lie. But like at least put them on the other side of the stadium where we can get to them. Like it was hard to get some food. Like that was my number 2 critique. Like the food options, tighten up. Even if you just want to outsource that game, tighten up. Secondly, the timing. Like it's a little warm at that time of day. I get it, but I get it though because you're actually using it as a recruiting day. But I'll say it like this, and I do understand that you have the recruits that are there and everything else that is going on. But put the spring game back on Be Out Day. Like either Be Out Day or some type of other day. Because I remember we were talking in the press box and Rory Sharrock was saying, man, the attendance here is bad, like compared to previous years. And it's like, it's cause and he's like, because they were charging. I was like, nah, really, it's because it's not on Be Out Day. He's like, yes, right. Orange and Green game a lot of times is on Be Out Day. It's like, yeah, you can get a nice overflow crowd and you can still charge 5, 10, 15 bucks for people to come in and you probably fill up the darn stadium. Like you might not fill it up, but you get the band there, like they get the vibe, they get to come in there, they start smelling all that stuff. Like I'm just saying, I think that's one of the ways you can improve the game. The other way to improve the game, honestly, for those kind of games, you almost need cooling stations. Like just a thought, because some of the water fountains didn't work. Like there was one water fountain we were trying to go to, and we came out for the press box. My man's from the WCTV and he didn't have a bottle. The bottle thing, it worked. You put your hand in front of it, water fell out. You went to go press, and no water came out of the spout for you to drink out of. So, just some of those small things to consider would improve the overall game day experience. And honestly, you may have to make the game earlier. Like that, it wasn't a bad time. But if you move it up maybe an hour, maybe we get a little more cool. Because as soon as you get that hottest part of the day, game's over. So that was probably my big 3 takeaways and big 3 critiques from the game. Because overall, it was fun. And when you first got there, the attendance was solid. But it was just that that heat was oppressive, and there wasn't enough concession options. Again, have your Italian ice person out there, Miss Williams. She shared that suggestion. She's like, they can at least sell some Italian ice. I'm like, you right. And I was like, well, what about the Kona Ice truck? Because y'all know Kona Ice, they just parked that thing in there. Man, he would have made a lick. Like, they would have been busting people over the head. And again, but those are just some of the things that come with experience. Because AD Sykes was there. Like, I was talking to her, messing with her a little bit. And, nothing crazy. I know I'm not one of them, But I did joke and tease a little bit. And she was laughing. And she was at everything. Like, again, y'all folks don't like my AD. I ain't gonna tell you what Jamie Foxx would have said on the Jamie Foxx show, but you can go walk somewhere in some sandals. And I'm just saying, like, yeah, like she's at everything. Like that lady, she's there. Like, leave her alone. But it was solid, man. Like, it was pretty fun. The band was straight, but I understand it was hot. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I even got some video of the band, and it was like, nah, this ain't it. I was too hot to get quality video. But again, I think those are some of the things we can do to improve the game day atmosphere. And again, it's another way to also increase revenue. Like, have that as something that is part of the Be Out Day experience. Have them, hey, this is Be Out Day, this, have a little package together. Even for the students, because a lot of times that's a big recruiting weekend. Hey, when the students come to recruit, come in, 10, 15 bucks. Maybe invite a high school band or two to come in there as well. Like, make it a day. Make it something to where it's a lot of events happening on the same day, but then you can also highlight that it's be out day and the football game. And maybe on that day, you try not to have the softball and baseball teams playing. You can if you'd like to, and especially honestly for softball. That stadium was packed. The softball complex was filled. I think that's an idea. Like, make it a whole weekend, do your normal stuff, and I think your attendance will go up just a little bit. Like, just because you'll have that natural overflow crowd, and have it where, hey, people can buy tickets there, and or just make it something where, as part of the Be Out Day experience, they get a free ticket or they get a discounted ticket. So just some of the ideas and takeaways from this past weekend. But it was fun. It was a fun day. It was hot. It was long, but it was very fun. It was productive, and I think you saw a lot. I think offensively, you got your quarterback number 2. Running back wise, it's gonna be running back by committee. Now the offensive line, I had a few questions, but I also realized FAMU's D line solid. So I don't know how many of those are actual questions, or some of those just a result of you're playing against a really good D line. As far as the tight ends, I know I'm a fan of tight ends. I don't think we use them enough, but I like them. Now defensively, that D line's like that. Yeah, linebacking core, not a concern, and that secondary, deep, and they can cover, and they got a little bit of swagger to them too. Like, they got a little bit of confidence in themselves. And I was looking to see if I had the other picture up here with me, and I had one picture where the ball's just like they were running stride for stride with those receivers. So I think FAMU football, we got a lot to be excited for. I really don't see many teams in the SWAC that can defeat FAMU. I see a few. I'm not going to say we'll go undefeated, because we did have some very close encounters with some of those teams. But I definitely think if FAMU brings their A game to every game, you have a really good season. And you have one. The game I hate is the game that I'm probably most concerned about, and that's the West Florida game. Like, that ain't even Jackson State. So, yeah, man. But after a great weekend on the Heights of Seven Hills, the football players hopefully get a little break. Graduation is going to be in a few weeks. But we really got to see some solid things out of the football team. You may not be impressed with the offense. I understand. But you also kind of got to see who QB2 is. We know who QB1 is. And you got to see really your 3 receivers are. Defensively, it's almost plug and play. It's a lot of really good things. Now, the softball diamond, okay. We won the series. That last game was a little rough. Now, the baseball diamond, we got a sweep. And we are in the hunt. And again, if you weren't there, you missed the cheerleaders. I didn't get a pick again. They did it during halftime. By then, the Sun had won. But I did get a little something with the volleyball team. They're coming back next year. Y'all better watch out. That's going to be a fun team to look at. And, man, I'm just telling y'all, like, FAMU is going to be a fun program. And we're building something. We're building something, and I really want to see what AD Sykes gets done. So, that being stated, though, big shout out to HBCU Digital Network. This is home. Check out my man, Herb Stewart and the Black Techies. Also check him out in the HBCU nightly space. Herb is often in there, especially when it comes to talking about band and other things. Hopefully we got a little something cooking in the band world. I'm going to bother Herb about that a little bit later. See if we can get a little bit more on the network. And as always, y'all, this is Fangs Up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn